One of my favorite things about the Hip Kit Clubs is that they include so many different types of embellishments in the kits each month. It makes it really easy to add lots of texture to your pages, and today I'm going to show you how I added 7 different textures to this page of my daughter and my husband out four-wheeling in the foothills of our local town. Hi guys, I'm Jana Eubank. Today I'm creating another layout with the June 2023 Hip Kits featuring the exclusive collection called Free Spirit by Hip Kit Club. I love this collection. I've had so much fun creating with it all month long, and I'm excited to work on this page today. Now I'm going to start out with my background like I usually do. I'm using the Big Dreamer paper with the blue and white on there, and then I went ahead and matted that with the Dreamy Yellow cardstock from the cardstock kit. I did go ahead and distress the edges and then stitch around it with my sewing machine, and now I'm turning my attention over to my layout. I have a single photo for this layout today, and to really call attention and really make this photo the focus of this page, I'm going to build it out with lots of layers. That's one of the first layers, or the first textures that we're adding to this page is paper. Now, even though, every layout has paper, of course, but to add even more visual texture with paper, you can layer it up in the messy way or add more textures of paper like I'm going to do here. So I really wanted this photo to stand out, so I decided to just grab all my different paper scraps and just layer them up with lots of colors, and you can see that as you build this, it just really highlights that photo. So first I started off with the Yellow Suns paper called Road Trip. That was the first layer, and then I did the coral ovals, that is called Cosmos. I then added a pale blue layer called Let's Travel. Then I added a messy gray dot. That was actually the opposite side of that Cosmos paper. And now the final layer is another piece of that Dreamy Yellow paper. I was going to initially use the solid side of that Dreamy Yellow cardstock, but when I flipped it over to add the adhesive, I really loved the way that those half circles looked, or those scallops looked with this photo. So I went ahead and did that, and even though it's a little bit of a busy pattern, it looks so cute peeking out from behind my photos. Next, I'm going to add even more paper layers to this layout by using this chevron paper. This is called Fly High. I love these rainbow chevrons. They're so pretty, and I feel like they have kind of a sporty feel about them. They kind of look like mountains, but they also just feel really sporty, and I think it matches the vibe of my photo and the vibe that I'm going for on this layout. So I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut out this large chevron, and I really love that when I placed it on my page, you can see that the top half matches the top half of that background paper with the blue shades, or the shades of blue. Then as you go towards the bottom, it has that coral and yellow that ties in with the photo mat of my photo. So that worked out really well, and I was really happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and add these smaller triangle pieces, and then I will take it over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to add lots of texture with stitching. That's the second element on this page. So I followed that chevron pattern and just stitched right along it. I also stitched in the white chevron that's in between the two rows, and that is looking awesome. I love it. So now I'm ready to start building up some layers. I brought in some die cuts first. There's an Aztec diamond there with some florals with that Free Spirit phrase layered down in the bottom right corner. And then I also picked out the 2 tags from the main kit die cuts. Next, I'm bringing in lots of these fussy cut florals. That's from the Nature Lovers paper, and I just love fussy cut florals on a page. I feel like they are very organic. They make your page come to life, and also they break up all of those straight edges that we typically see on our layout designs. So I love adding them. So I'm going to go ahead and use some foam tape to add these here. I'm also adding in a layered sticker from the embellishment kit, and that is that pink circle there on the right. It says A Great Adventure. I'm going to grab more of these little fussy cut florals. Now I always keep all the little small pieces that I cut on the edges, and I'm able to utilize those. You can see I have a half daisy shape that I was able to nestle on the top of that layered sticker, and I'm going to just add in some little flowers. I also had this little tiny leaf piece that was on the edge of the paper, and I'm going to tuck that behind the layered sticker just to make it look like a flower, and it blends in with those floral clusters. Next, I'm going to add some gray distressing ink to the edges of those tags, and then I'm going to adhere everything into place. I'm about to add another texture to this layout, and that is twine. When I place these tags underneath the bottom or the left edge of my photo mat, I'm going to grab some white twine and add those to the top of each of those tags. In one of the tags, I will tie it in a bow, and then in the second tag, I will just tie it into a knot. I love adding twine or ribbon to a page because typically we have lots of these flat layers, right? But when you add twine or ribbon, it brings in a flowing texture that and helps to break up the lines a little bit and add a softness to the page. Now I'm ready to add in my next texture. Can you believe this? All these awesome textures. This is the glitter foam stickers from the main kit. I'm going to be using this word fun, but I wanted it to pop out a little bit more, so I decided to adhere it to the Cave Dive Blue cardstock from the cardstock kit, and then I'm just going to fussy cut around it, creating a mat for that word. And you can see how that just pops a lot brighter once it's matted onto some cardstock. Here's my next texture that I'm going to bring in, and this is from the embellishment kit. These are the acetate die cuts. There's so many beautiful branches and flowers and stems in this kit, and I decided to pick out all the ones with the gold glitter accents because it would tie back into that gold glitter word of my title. So I'm just going through and selecting those and then arranging them on my page. There's some single daisies, there's some branches, and there's some stems, and I'll just work with those and then add those with my tape adhesive once I figure out the arrangement. Now my title for this page is going to be So Flippin' Fun. This was actually during COVID, and my daughter, my kids were getting antsy. You know, everybody was social distancing, so they weren't able to get together with their friends as often as they would have liked. And so we decided to pull out our four-wheelers and allow them to go ride in the hills. And it turned out to be a really great thing for these kids because they just needed to break up their day. You know, everyone was stuck at home as we were social distancing. However, on this particular day, she did flip the four-wheeler when she took a turn too sharp. Thankfully, my husband was nearby and came to her rescue. And also, thankfully, she didn't get hurt and the machine didn't get hurt either. So that's why I'm doing a little play on words here. I know it seems a little irreverent considering she could have got hurt, but thankfully she didn't. And so I did do the title So Flippin' Fun just to tell about how we did have our own kind of fun during COVID. My next texture is going to be these puffy alphabet stickers from the main kit. Now, I didn't have another letter O. I had used them all up on other layouts, but I simply just grabbed the letter Q and cut off the tail, and I was able to create another letter O. I'm going to bring in some more layered cardstock. This time I'm using the Travel Red and the June alphabet die that was released. It creates these beautiful letters that are 1 inch high, and I love these. I love mixing fonts and styles of letters when in my titles. I think they make it more interesting and fun to look at. So I went ahead and cut those letters out twice, both on white cardstock and Travel Red. I layered those up together, and then I will add them with some foam tape. Now, before I adhered down my title, I thought I might want to use the stencil from the color kit, along with the gold paint in that kit, to add some of these stars. I love this die. It's super cute, but it looks more like a night sky. I did a little test run there. It looks more like a night sky, and so I thought, you know what, instead of doing that, I'm just going to splatter some of this gold paint on there. You know, they're out four-wheeling, you tend to splatter mud and get dirty, right? And so we'll create our own beautiful mud or our own beautiful dirt splatters on this page with this gold acrylic paint. I simply added a spritz of water to it to make it a little more runny, and then I'm just using an old paintbrush to splatter on my page. I did cover up the photos with some scrap paper just so I wouldn't get the gold splatters onto my photos, and I'm just removing them and seeing if I want to add more paint or mud splatters, I guess we'll call it, and getting it exactly how I want. Once I'm finished, I'll allow that to dry, and then I'm ready to add in my title. There's a close-up look of that. I'll show you a close-up look at the end as well. So I already have some foam tape on the back of all of these letters. I tend to always pop up my title with foam tape if possible. I just feel like it's a great place to add texture, and it really catches your attention and helps to highlight the topic of each of these pages. Now I start to hear the letters in place, and I wasn't really loving that little tiny word "so." It looked a little, lost, I guess. It looked like an orphan over there. So I decided to grab the stickers and from the embellishment kit, and I found this starburst circle, and I thought, oh my gosh, that will be the perfect way to emphasize the word "so," but also just to add a lot of personality to this title here. I apologize for my hair popping in here. My hair looks really messy, but it's actually just my natural curls. I usually don't wear my natural curls on videos, so you're just seeing the top of my head with my messy curls on this day. All right, back to the sticker sheets from the embellishment kit. They had these tiny cute hearts. You saw that I added some florals earlier around the clusters. I will also add some single flowers to the right of the word "fun," but right now I'm adding in these little hearts. I will pop those up with some thin foam squares as well, just to give that a bit of dimension. And then we'll go ahead and add in those single flower stickers. That helps the title to tie into the flower clusters. And then I will also grab a little piece of leaves from the fussy cut floral paper called Nature Lover, and this cuts out, but I do tuck that in to the right of the word "fun." Finally, I'll just create some journaling strips on my computer, and I'll add those to the top and bottom of the page explaining the story. You can pause and read that if you'd like, but I love the way this turned out. We have 7 different textures. We have cardstock, we have acetate, we have the gold glitter foam stickers, the puffy stickers, the twine, the stitching, and I'm forgetting one. The puffy, the paint. That's what it was. So this was really fun to put together. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. Again, these are the June 2023 Hip Kits. My name is Jana Eubank. We'll see you again soon.